when I was brought here, nilitolewa kazini huko Silanka. Huko na hospitali.
Okay. Tu wapi?
Silanka.
Okay.
So si nika collapse nilikuwa na offer services. Wakanileta huko. Colleagues. Mchaji akasema mpelekeni hospitali. You know I was in a coma. So kukuja si nikawachwa huko because my colleagues were to leave to their homes. Alafu one of the staff ilikuwa kitu saa 4 saa 5 nikiingia hapo usiku mchana Friday, lakini kukuja kuondoka wao waliondoka kitu saa 7 usiku wakiambiwa hiyo department ya NHIF haifanyi kazi saa hiyo. Sasa wakauliza unajua sisi tumetumwa tumlete, tutamsaidiaje from here na NHIF yake iko active. So mwenye alimwatenda alimwambia don't worry, tumemwacha hapo kwetu, tutamsort. Kwa sababu hata juzi vile tulipoenda alienda kumsomea sana, akamwambia this is unfair. How can we leave you with our patient mkatupatia hope kwamba mtamhudumia. Sasa tuko frustrated just because of one thing. NHIF yenye ilikuwa na matumaini nayo tunaambiwa it cannot work because mgonjwa hayuko kwa system na under NHIF. Tukarudi huko hawakatukataza, wakanisukuma wakaniambia wewe toka tuhudumie wengine. Tumekwambia without you being in the system within 24 hours of the tangu ingie
ndio wanakuambia
uta.
So look, she came on Friday morning. She was unconscious. By the time she was attended to with, you know,
my people were leaving at around morning at 1 in the morning.
On Saturday.
On Saturday.
So let me ask you, did your people have your NHIF card?
Yes, even they had the number.
They had the number.
Yeah.
So I think this is why we want to go with her number. All right? Tonight we're going to number yake, si ndio?
Yes.
We want to go with her number because if she came in on Friday morning, when were you attended to? The same time?
Since the same day, but they were making several findings over my problem.
Yes.
Tuende tupimwe lab, tuende x-ray, tuende up to that time. Ilibidi wenzangu they left na wao wakasema they will help me. But hata Saturday sikukuja ward. I was in the ward on Monday.
No, today is Monday.
No, on that day when I was now brought to the ward.
You have been here for the last 1 week?
2 weeks now.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 weeks, okay.
So it was like, mmeniambia you attend to me within 24 hours with the NHI, but I was still unconscious. How could I manage it? Because aliniambia, uko kwa ward tumeweka makaratasi kila mahali, mama wewe hukusoma. Nikamwambia, no, it is not my fault.
I was still
yes, yeah. Hata ndio mpaka nikakuja nikauliza wenzangu, wapi makaratasi? Kaniambia iko hapo kwa sink, ende usome. Nikamwambia, how can I read those posters and yet niko bado kwa hiyo gas ya oxygen?
See, if somebody comes here without a family member, and somehow, okay, she had friends who came with her colleagues. They had her NHIF card. Now the question is, she's still here. She's discharged to go home. But NHIF is saying that because she didn't get into the system within 24 hours, they are not going to cover her bill.
No, actually, her case is very unique and different. And this is the perspective of it. For every emergency case, we should, as a staff or other medical practitioner, we should handle the emergency we have at hand, and then this other thing will follow.
Yeah, because she was unconscious.
That's her situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now there's this other thing.
So it's upon NHIF now, just to ensure that this is taken care of.
So that's why I want to go to NHIF, right? Because she's discharged. Now the problem she's having is her children are staying with the neighbors. She needs to go back home. She has a medical cover, right? Paid for by her company. Now we just need NHIF to accept that she was brought in an emergency situation and the registration was not done within 24 hours. It's not her fault. Because then she came on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, NHIF I don't think were functioning. So from Monday, they've been trying to get her into the system. So now, if she's a patient here without being in the system, how do we sort that out?
No, it's unlike the elective cases. For most of the patients who come with cold cases, you have to seek the authorization and they have to be approved. For her condition, it is way different. It was an emergency.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
And also NHI from their side, they have to take into consideration this patient came in.
Do they
unconscious.
take into consideration that it was an emergency, or do they still expect the hospital, with the information that this patient has a cover, to have sought the pre-authorization? But in an emergency, you treat and then
In
you
an
seek the
emergency situation, you have to-
pre-authorization.
Yeah, definitely.
So how, CEO, how do you solve this problem? These are my voters, and I need to understand how to solve their problems.
In her case, you are saying you are brought by people who had the card,
Yes.
and they went to our NHIF office. But then what happened?
They were told at the moment this office is closed. Secondly, we are hoping this patient is going to be admitted. For inpatient, there is another office of which we will sort her tomorrow. That is the case.
Well, that was on
What
Saturday
now?
now.
Yeah, it was on a Saturday.
When did you regain consciousness? The next day?
On Monday, when I was brought, even when I was brought in the ward, I was still on that oxygen.
So at this particular juncture, the patient is needed to do all this fingerprint thing. In the
But she's
NHIF and
unconscious.
also- Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This her situation is way different from this other patient. And the NHIF should consider all this.
So NHIF expects a patient to leave their bed to go to their office to do the fingerprinting thing.
You see, that, like this case, Mheshimiwa, NHIF, because all what we need is the clinical notes
Yeah.
to convince them within the 24 hours.
This was an emergency.
This was an emergency. Yeah.
Okay, so we know what bed number is. This bed number 2?
No, bed number 2.
But will NHIF, they will not know which bed number, which they just know the
Exactly.
NHIF
This is
card.
not our ward. We were just transferred there because we are aware, waiting to be discharged. Our ward was ward number 2, room 4. We are here just because we are waiting.
You want to go home today. That's your problem. There's a bill. She was in emergency admission. She has the NHIF cover.
Yeah.
NHIF doesn't work on the weekends. The patient was unconscious, so she couldn't go and do the. In fact, I think that I thought the hospital does the pre-authorization, not the patient.
There are two
If a
aspects.
patient is admitted, do you really need the finger
For the NHIF.
when they're discharged?
And at times you have
When
the
they're
prompt,
discharged.
the OTP. No, you have for the admission and also for discharge.
But that doesn't work if a patient is unconscious.
There are two aspects. The other aspect is there could have been a gap with our staff there. That's what I'm picking.
Yeah.
Because if the card was there,
Kadi kwa wapi sahi?
kitambulisho ilikuwa.
Zote niko nazo.
If she had the ID card and the NHIF card,
But
then
you
the
see,
staff who was there should have been able to identify her and key in her details in
At
the
night,
system.
when the nurse was leaving, aliniambia bila alikuja kuniona, bila nimewambia mimi nimeambiwa ningoje. She was like, nasi tuliwauliza huko kwa ofisi wakasema ofisi ya NHIF imefungwa but watakusoti kesho. Na alipochukua kadi why hakuandika hiyo namba yako kwa hizo form zako tukuache nazo.
There was also that aspect of negligence from our staff at the NHIF
so
office.
are we going to be able to solve it so she can go home?
Yes, we will. We should.
Nipe kadi yako
We should.
na kitambulisho yako
Yes, we should.
ili tumalizane na wewe. Because you see, the company that she works for provides them with full NHIF. They brought her in, right? So the staff, but I'm just wondering, there has to be, for me, a patient who's brought in here, let's say you're brought in as an accident victim, your wallet was stolen, but you have an NHIF cover, and you are admitted, you treat, then they bring you the NHIF card after a day or two or the number, the family gets it. Isn't it just for you because she's already an inpatient to go in and key? NHIF will not authorize?
No, it has to.
It has
They
to,
have
isn't
to,
it?
yes.
So they authorize, and
They
then
have to
at discharge is when they need her finger, no?
No. For admission, they need that. And at
But how do you get
at the same time, you can use her phone.
What if the phone is lost for OTP?
No, those are the challenges.
Because people who have accidents, they lose their phones,
definitely.
they lose their
Those are the-
documents.
those are-
Who bothers with only the thieves on the ground are going to steal your wallet?
Those are the challenges, and at times you usually send the relatives or the next of
But let
kin
me
to
ask you,
headquarter.
For me, I feel if a patient is admitted, right, and she's in the ward or she's in the theater or she's unconscious, you can't get her finger.
Definitely.
All you can do is get a pre-authorization, and when she's ready, NHIF, do they have a portable finger thing? They come here and they collect a finger in the ward, or they have to then. So then you get the finger on discharge, isn't it? I think those are some of the things some of the challenges that you guys should give to NHIF as they move forward.
Taking that into consideration.
Uko nayo?
Rogers,
Tuko na watu
come and
watatu.
meet us at the NHIF office.
Uko wapi mami?
Actually, what
Ya
they need-
NHIF
what they
yako?
need from us,
Nani huyo mtu wa nini amepatia
send
mtu
them,
hapa.
eh,
Unajua sasa watu wangu
indicate that this was
wanakasirika
an
na yeye
emergency
ndio
case.
ameandika hapa,
We
lakini
handled it accordingly,
wameenda nayo
and this person
Nani?
was discharged.
my relative wameenda nayo community to find out.
Community ni wapi?
Hapo headquarter.
Okay, hii ni ID yako. But we've
Namba
got...
hii namba ni mtu wa NHIF ameandika hapa kutoka kwa.
Yeah, sasa wajua kitu ingine mi naona ukiangalia ID card yako, let me tell you CEO, you know, if NHIF is so particular about your name, about your ID number, like they were with the other patient, right? You see now here in Mbagathi's admission, you've called her Judy. Her name is Judith Odinda Musimbi. Even here you've called her Musemi. So even in the admission document, no wonder we're having a disconnect, because the admission document doesn't have the correct name as the ID. So I think the first thing we need to fix is fix the data in your system. Okay? Where can ID? You want to take the ID? Because what we need to do is to fix the system. Huh? No, what's your NHIF number?
ID number is
Unaona e-invoice, e-patient admission. Huh? E-patient admission. Jina ni wrong. Ndi tofauti. So when you go now and you say I'm admitted, the name, the whoever entered this detail did not enter her name properly. She's not Judy. She's not Musemi. And NHIF normally wants all three names. So I think we need to clean this up. Then we write a report and say that she was unconscious for 2 days, and you know, capture her details in the system. So who will take these details? Wewe CEO yuko hapa.
Let me follow up.
CEO anajua kitanda yake atamregeshea ID.
Let me follow up.
Yeah.
for the name, maybe also the next, or rather the relatives who came, they shortened the name.
No, but the
I came
hospital.
from my place of work. It is not a matter of relatives. They know my name. They are the ones who had given them my ID.
Oh, they gave ID.
Yeah.
They gave the ID. The person who entered the details should have used the ID details.
We know even the discharge summary.
And this one, who filled this one? The handwritten. Who filled that handwritten?
This one is a lab request. They took the blood from me. They took it to the lab. This is the report.
So they continued following the admission paper. Yeah. So the thing is, I think we have to realize that when we admit a patient, if they have a proper documentation, they do it. If the documentation becomes real later, we change it. Okay, let's solve it. All these are waiting for discharge.
At your back.
Huh?
At your back. Just behind you.
No, let's solve one problem, and then I'm sure the CEO is on top of the other problems. Poleni sana. Yeah. Kabisa, lakini itakuwa sawa. Si ndio? Nyinyi nyote mnagojea discharge. Na shida ni nini? Ni NHIF? Kukosa pesa? Ha? Pesa. Bili yako ni ngapi?
Ile wanapata hospitali ni 1730, halafu na dawa za ngilisika yakiwa wameandika na sikuwa nazo niende ninunue. Hata ile nimetibiwa nayo nimepindi niwe nanunua kule nje, juu hapa walisema dawa za sinda yangu hakuna hapa, arthritis.
Okay, sasa hii umekuwa discharged.
Yeah.
Unafaa ulipe hospitali ngapi ndio utoke? 17,000. 17,000. CEO, when I was in Mama Lucy, I paid half the bill and they let the patient go. If I pay half her bill, you let her go?
Today.
Huh?
She'll leave today.
She'll leave today?
Yeah.
No, yako ni ngapi? 22.
Yes.
Okay. Na yako?
Mimi sijaona yangu.
Yours is 22.
Yes.
So that's, huh? another 160. Umekuwa discharged? Lakini una hii pesa?
Niko na 18.
Huh?
Niko na 18,000.
Okay, so
niko na 18 cash kwa simu. Yenye nimejaribu ku.
So can we do a 50%? I top up and this is 65, it will be 30. I top up, then she goes home.
That's okay.
Huh? 13, so 6.
What we can do, we have 60 dischargees.
Huh?
60 who are already discharged but still here. Maybe I can compute the bills.
Where am I going to get the money to pay for all of them? Why don't you compute the bills and let me know what 50% will be?
Yes.
Right? But for the ones that Robert, umetumia pesa uko na cash. Uko na cash. So what we do, this one here, she's got 18. It's 30.
Yeah.
So I'll have to add 12.
Yeah.
Right? This one I have to add 8 or something like that. And this one I have to add 11. This one I have to add 7. 7. What? Okay. So night. Easy in it. Easy in it. Let me discharge these ones. Right? This is 65. Huyu ni ambao kuna 18. Right? So if I can discharge these ones. Mami, wacha. Huyu ni wewe yako ni kubwa. Mbona uko na NHIF? Wajua kama ungekata NHIF hatungekuwa na hii shida. Sasa hiyo ungekuwa tu umetibiwa na umetoka. NHIF ni 500 kila siku. Kila mwezi. 500 kila mwezi. Ukose kukula sukari, ukose kwenda saloon, ukose kwenda disco, ukose kuwa na party. 500 unaweza. What?
Mugani. She's the one who did it.
5 months?
Yeah.
Because of the bill.
No, the bill here is 3 months.
Actually, today's bill, as we speak, was 304.
But you see, when you keep them here, when you keep them here, when you keep them here beyond their, I asked the governor to discharge the detained patients. When you keep them here for, let's see, when you keep them here for 2 months beyond their discharge, you're feeding them.
Yeah.
They're occupying a bed. You're washing the linen. You're doing all that. So isn't it costing you more?
It is, but like her case, where relatives walisema wataleta pesa ngapi?
Kuna kitu
But you
anafanywa
told us your relatives were looking for money. You did not say that.
So NHIF is covering 153. Well, kuna NHIF.
Yeah.
It's covering 153 and 110 due to notification. Why do they have to pay? If NHIF is covering and they have 500,000 cover, why should NHIF only pay 153? What's the issue?
It is at the point when they paid the NHIF.
The NHIF matured when they were losing the hospital.
Wewe ulienda hata una bahati wamekusaidia.
Wakati
uligonjeka ndio ulichukua NHIF.
Yes.
those instances.
Kaa hapo nitajaribu kuona vile nitasaidia na nitamwambia hiyo ni governor atafanya kesi yake. Umelipa 5,000? Huh? Yeah. So this is 45.
So 20 balance.
Aya. Umelipa 40. To pay is 53.
Malipa 10. Bill ni pesa ngapi? 52. Uko na hii karatasi? Iko wapi?
So all these are discharged.
All these are discharged.
Okay, do me a summary, but can we do me this is crazy, and this is in every hospital. I mean, when I was in Mama Lucy, we discharged patients who had given birth. Wajua nyinyi nyote mkitoka hapa lazima mukate NHIF. Najua tuko na babadliko tutaenda kwa shift, lakini mukate na mulipe hiyo 500.
Zaidi ya miaka 5 nikiwa kazi kwa Moguko, alafu wakati hiyo kampuni iliisha nikawa sijapata kazi mahali pengine, na ikiwa harakati ya kutafuta kazi nikanaswa na ugonjwa kwa miezi kama 5 hivi.
Lakini lazima hata kama ulitoka kwa kampuni, kila mwezi unaenda unalipa. Unasema mimi sijaandikwa na kampuni, sasa najilipia mwenyewe. Mami, una kibarua lakini unalipa kodi ya nyumba? Unakula? Ha? Najua shida inaweza kuwa zaidi, lakini imekuwa zaidi sana sasa kwa sababu ya kukosa kulipa hiyo 500.
Kwa sababu ile ukipata unapata kidogo kama ya 500 kibarua, ndio unakula, ndio unanunua mapeni kila juu. In fact nilikuwa natumia mapeni kila ndio sikuwa naweza kufika hospitali ugonjwa wako uonekane.
Yeah, but we can only do a few. We can't do all of them unless I manage to raise some money.
Even the social work department has a report because they have assessed all these people. We can rely on that report to prioritize on who to. Yeah.
You see, the thing is, some of the families really try to raise the money. Like this one has raised what, 20, 18. You raised 40. Now, when you see that 40, you immediately say, "Mwacha ende atafute zingine."
That's part of the criteria.
So
that they have the report. Those who have, they do both the social profiling and effort is one of the metrics. You see, like if social profiling qualifies her for waiver and she has made that effort, then we release.
So you'll release a few and I'll clear a few 50%.
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, you know, there's no point in them staying here, CEO. I'm going to try and get hold of Governor Sakaja. I mean, give me the list of the 60. I'll try and raise some money so we can help the hospital out, because I also understand. And the biggest challenge I'm going to have now is to go to NHIF and tell them to release some of the good money that they owe you.
Yes.
If they owe you 80 million, the hospital needs even to strangle the patients because you need the money. I understand. Then let me go on social media and see if Kenyans will be generous so that we can boost the discharge of Mbagathi.
God bless you, Mommy.
CEO, can you do the totals for me?
Yes.
Okay, and then send me the figure.
Thank you so
Mtoto wangu alikufa. Kaniachia watoto watano.
Pesa yako ya hospitali ni ngapi mama?
Around
30,000.
And she has other children. The daughter died, she told me, in December. Left her with 5 kids. The oldest is 11 years. The youngest is 5 years. She lives alone. Uliniambia ni Mukuru ama wapi? Yeah. So like it was her tending the children for the daughter who has already passed on. No, now she's in hospital. She was sick.
Okay,
and nobody
so
to take care of the children.
Dr. Ari, let her be on the list of the people that will go home today. Okay? All right. Utaenda leo?
Asante mama. Nauishi miaka mingi.
We are grateful.
Asante.
Ili ya transporter.
Asante.
Kwenda nyumbani.
Asante.
Yeah.
Give a name.
Last week Friday.
Leo 705 720 675 naitangua Hana Hana Waibera.
She's really needy.
Yeah,
has 5 grandchildren. Fending for them alone, she's sick.
Leo ghorofa 7.